Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters in Islam. Welcome to our series about the dhikr and the fruits of remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dear brothers and sisters, we don't like the shaitan to be with us. We don't like the shaitan to whisper to us. We don't like the shaitan to have a control over us. This is what happens when we neglect the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the shaitan will have a control over you first when you are negligent, and then he will make you forget Allah Azza wa Jal. And the person who forgets Allah, Allah will forget him. استحوذ عليهم الشيطان فأنساهم ذكر الله. So the shaitan has a control over you because your heart is negligent. Your heart doesn't remember Allah. So the shaitan has a control over you now, and now he's not allowing you to remember Allah. And what happens? نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم. So when you forget Allah, Allah will make you forget yourself, so you will not care for what helps you to enter Jannah. Again and again, dear brothers and sisters, the remembrance of Allah is something very easy on the tongue, and it is heavy in the scale of good deeds. Why is that? Because the person who remembers Allah, as the Prophet Muhammad mentions, and the one who does not remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are like the dead person and the living person. Is there a difference between the two? Yes, a big difference. When your heart does not remember Allah, it is dead. Yes, you have a life. You live in this dunya, but you are dead because your heart is dead. And if you remember Allah, then your heart is alive now. Remember Allah Azza wa Jal, kick the shaitan away. And the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not restricted to a certain time or a certain type of dhikr. The remembrance of Allah is a way of life. How? You feel that you are in need for your Creator, and that's why you remember Him. When you are happy, you remember Him. When you are sad, you remember Him. When something bothers you, you remember Him. When you have something that makes you sad, you remember Him. When you are angry, you remember Him. When you want to complain, you remember Him. So this is something that you are in need for. You want to be with Allah by remembering Him, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be with you. And as it came in the hadith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remember you. And the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remember him, he will never be punished in the hellfire. He will never be tortured in the hellfire, because he loves Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not punish these hearts that love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You remember Allah, you enjoy the time that you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you show your weakness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When anything bothers you, you always have the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a weapon. And I ask everyone, dear brothers and sisters, to have Hisnul Muslim, the fortress of the Muslim. It's a small book, but it has the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every status in our life. This is something that we should not leave at all. We should remember, we should memorize. We should not say any dhikr without understanding its meaning. This is our weapon that we need to have it every day. أهلا وسهلا بأهلي وأحبابي في قناتي قناة نكون on the door of Jannah, الوصول إلى جنة الفردوس. ومع ذكر الله عز وجل تلك العبادة العظيمة التي لها أجر عظيم، وهي ثقيلة في الميزان، مع أنها يسيرة وعبادة يستطيع الجميع أن يفعلها في كل وقت. الإنسان عندما لا يذكر الله عز وجل يتملك الشيطان منه استحوذ عليهم الشيطان فأنساهم ذكر الله. ومن نسي الله عز وجل ينسيه الله سبحانه وتعالى نفسه. لماذا هذا الأجر والثواب للذكر؟ لأن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: مثل الذي يذكر ربه والذي لا يذكر ربه مثل الحي والميت. نعم، الذي يذكر ربه قلبه حي، قلبه مليء بالإيمان، والذي لا يذكر الله عز وجل قلبه ميت، وإن كان يمشي وإن كان يعيش في هذه الحياة لكنه ميت، لأنه صاحب قلب ميت. فلنذكر الله عز وجل، والثواب العظيم للذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات لهم الجنة ولا يعذبهم الله عز وجل، لأن من ذكر الله عز وجل الله سبحانه وتعالى سيذكره، ومن ذكره الله عز وجل لا يعذبه. نحتاج للذكر لنشكو إلى الله عز وجل ما يؤلمنا، لنتحصن بالله عز وجل من كل ما يخيفنا، لنحتمي بالله عز وجل. هناك كتاب جميل اسمه حصن المسلم، لنتعلم من هذا الكتاب بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى كيفية الذكر، ولا نقول ذكرا إلا إذا علمنا معناه في الأوقات التي فيها نكون بحاجة إلى مرضاة الله عز وجل وإلى العون والمدد من الله سبحانه وتعالى. أحبكم في الله، اللهم اجعلنا من الذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات.